that Don Pedro Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, none of fame.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath
an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters. There appears much joy in him. Even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
How many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? I pray you, how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all of his killing.
Benedict, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meek with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars, and a good soldier too, lady.
A good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
'Tis so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish with wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So that if he have wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. It is all the wealth that he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
'Tis very possible. He wears his faith, but it's the fashion of his hat. It never changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your book.
No, anymore I would burn my study. But who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the right noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Leonata, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid costs and to account for it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is the daughter of your late husband.
I would have you believe so.
Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you're like an honorable father.
Oh, if he be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all of Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
Oh, what, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she had such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Well, then courtesy is a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you accepted. And I wish I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Oh, God, still in that mind, so some gentleman or other may escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse than to wear such a face as yours
Oh,
were.
you are a rare carrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, so good a continuer. But keep your way. In God's name, I'm done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you have old. Well, that is the sum of it all, Leonata. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my good friend Leonata hath invited you all. I tell her we should stay at the least a month, and she so heartily prays that some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear she is no hypocrite, but prays from the heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, at your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonata. We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Leonata?
I noted her not, though I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my true and simple judgment, or would you rather have me speak after my position as a professed tyrant to their sex?
No. I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. This commendation I can afford her, that being not as she were unhandsome, and being as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me how truly thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Could the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you but play the flouting jack, to say that Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, what tune shall a man take you to go into the song?
In mine eyes, she's the sweetest lady I ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, doth exceed her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Does it come to this? Hath the world one man that will wear his cap without suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 60 again? Oh, go to, thou art maid. Thou must thrust thy neck into a yoke, and wear the imprint of it and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonatus?
Would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
If you do that, Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you know that, but on my allegiance, mark you, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? That is your grace's part. Mark you how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonata's short daughter.
This were so sore uttered.
It is like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, nor 'twas not so, but God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change on shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you do love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
Speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my true faith and troth, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy. Is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die with it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. That I will have a reed sheet winded into my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
If thou dost ever fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle, like a cat, and shoot at me. And him that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, and in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke. In the meantime, go repair to Leonatus. Commend me to her and say that I will not fail her at supper tonight, for I know she hath made great preparations.
I've almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee any good.
Hath Leonata any daughters? Sons, my lord?
None but Hero, she is her only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudia?
Oh, my lord. When you went outward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye. That liked, but had a rougher task in hand than driving to the name of love. But now I'm returned, and such warthoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish her. I will go break with her and her mother, and she shall be yours. Was not to this end that thou beginnest to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love. That love loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have solved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is a necessity. Look, what I will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I shall fit thee with the remedy. I know there shall be revelling tonight. I shall assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudia. And then in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner, with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then to her mother I'll break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. Practice, let us put it presently.
Brother? Sister, I can tell you strange news that you yet brat not know.
Are they good?
As the event stands, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The Prince and Count Claudio walking in a thick pleached down telling my lordship was thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in the dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break the deal.
Half the felony wit that told you this.
A good sharp fellow I will send for him. He questions himself.
No, no. We will hold it as a dream to appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be the better prepared for an answer if this peradventure be true. Go you, tell her of it.
What? The good year, my lord? Why are you thus at a measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breathes, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
Not a patient sufferance, at least the present remedy.
I wonder that thou, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a mortal medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. Must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I am hungry and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his place, where it is impossible you should take true root to provide the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you friend season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to disdain than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. Indeed, it must not be said that I'm a flattering honest man, though it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be what I am and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince your brother is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give you intelligence on his intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marion is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marion Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
A very forward march check. What came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking in a musty room, comes to me the Prince of Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I went me behind the arras and heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young start up with all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross men any way, I'll bless myself in every way. You're both sure, and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Come, let us to the supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued, with the cooker of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not. Lord, how tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You were an excellent man. They were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With good leg and a good foot on, and money enough in his purse, such a man would get any woman in the world. Get her good.
By my troth, niece, that would never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed. Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed he sends none.
So, by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him on my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You may land on a husband that hath no beard.
And what shall I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth, he is not for me, and he that is less than a man, well, I am not for him.
Well, I trust it will be ruled by your father.
Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Mother, as it please you. But yet, for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Mother, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted for the husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Lord, would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? To make the crown of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, I'm not.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero. Wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a sink pace. The first suit is hot and hasty as a Scotch jig, and full as fantastical. The wedding, mannerly modest as a measure, full of state and ancientry, and then comes repentance, and with his bad legs fall into the sink pace faster and faster till he sink into his grave.
Niece, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, Aunt. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I'm yours to walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
You say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor, for God to send the loose to be like the king.
My visor is Philemon's roof, within the house of Job.
Why then your visor should be that.
Speak low if you speak loud.
Well, I would, if you'd like me.
So will not I, fear roses, for I have many of one.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
And then I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Why, this was Signor Benedict who said so.
What's he?
I am sure you know him.
Not I. Believe me.
He never made you laugh.
I pray you, what's he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool, only his gift is in devising impossible slander. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him to beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet, and I will be assured to
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
don't break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure not marked or not laughed at, will strike him into a melancholy, and then there's a fortune to invade. The fool will suffer that night. We must follow the leader.
And every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turn.
So my brother is enamored on Hero. The ladies follow him, and but one visor remains.
That's Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Sir, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from this. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too. He swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. And hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, whose faith charms melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio,
Yea, the same.
Count, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your business, Count. But come, what fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's sash? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Oh, thou speak you like an honest drovier. So they sell bollocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and now you but beat the post.
If it not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor fowl, you will seep into sedges. But that my Lady Beatrice should know me and not know me, the prince's jester, and maybe I go under that title because I am married. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong, I am not so reputed. It is the base, the bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world in her person and gives me out. I'll be revenged as I may.
Good seeing you over as the Count. Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. I brought him over to the willow tree, either to fashion him a garland, as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod, as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
Why, the flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, overjoyed upon finding a bird's nest, shoots at his friend, and he steals it.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The gentleman that danced with her has told her that she has been much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak with but one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, a dull thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man at a mark, with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks in poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were none living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Anbad left him before he transgressed.
Look, here she comes.
Oh, will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go now on the slightest errand to the Antipodes. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the lanes of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Chan's beard, do you any embassage to the pygmies, but hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None but your good company.
Oh, God. Here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
In faith, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it, a double heart from his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice, therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor well, nor merry, but civil. Civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
I would think your blazon to be true, though all be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I ruined thy name and fair hero was blood. I broke with her mother and her goodwill obtained. They that name marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of thee my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace shall amend to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfect herald of joy. I were but little happy, if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself to you, and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
If faithfully, you have a merry heart.
Yea, I thank it, poor fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Oh, Lord, for alliance! Now goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I must sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will find you one.
I would rather have one of your father's finding. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid can come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I could have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. And to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then the star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
Cry you mercy, aunt, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady. There's little melancholy within her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps.
And never sad then, for I've heard my daughter say she has often dreamed of unhappiness and wakes herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all who were without suit.
She would make an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
How now, Count? When mean you to go to the church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just a seventh night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake your head at too long a breathing. But I warn thee, Claudio, the time will not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring the Lady Beatrice and the Signor Benedict to a mountain of affection, one with the other.
My lord, I implore you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, upon my cousin, who is good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefulest husband that I know, and that's why I can praise him. He is of a noble strain, to prove valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that you will fall in love with Signor Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Signor Benedict, then despite his quick wit and his queasy stomach, will fall in love with the Lady Beatrice. If we could do this, Cupid is no longer an archer, for his glory shall be ours, and we are the only love gods. Come with me, come in with me, and I will tell you my drift.